If you're on a low glycemic diet, whether you're trying to lose weight or for health reasons, food cravings can do you in. But I got the solution for that. A really tasty chicken curry recipe we're going to show you how to make here at the renowned L'Academie de Cuisine. Crave away. Let me make the introductions here. Dr. Gigi Albayoumi.
Yes.
George Washington Medical Faculty Associates. This is Chef Francois Dienot from L'Academie de Cuisine. We're talking low glycemic index. What does that mean?
Low glycemic means that you're choosing foods that are going to stay with you, staying power, so that your blood sugar isn't going up and down and making you hungry. Something that's going to keep you satisfied, satiated, so that your insulin isn't doing a roller coaster.
So this is for diabetics?
It's for everybody. It's for people trying to maintain a good weight, a healthy weight. For those of us challenged and trying to lose a little weight, for diabetics, it just makes sense really for everybody to stay healthy.
All right, Chef, what are we making?
We're making a chicken using chicken legs with quinoa.
With what?
Quinoa. Quinoa is a grain which originally from South America, which is very high in protein and has an interesting taste. And I'll show you also how to bring more taste to it by cooking with onion and chicken stock, etc. So
what are we going to do to this chicken leg? It looks
chicken legs,
ready to go.
Because the chicken breast is too lean to do in that recipe, so it's best to use the legs. What I like to do with the legs is cut them in half. The legs like this is big and too hard to. So what you do is you find out where there's a little W here, and you find out where the W is with these fingers here, and you see where that when that knife goes, I'm cutting the cartilage. So I don't cut the bones.
That's an easy way to cut it. That's great.
To separate it.
That's a good trick, the W trick. I've never
heard
that before.
What I like to do also is take this off. So be careful of a big snap. This usually shrink and it doesn't look good. So now we have our pieces of chicken ready to sear. We're going to sear, which is a little bit of oil.
What kind of oil is that?
This is canola oil.
Canola oil, okay.
Like a non-flavor oil. Mm-hmm. You don't want to have an olive oil or good flavorful olive oil because it's going to lose all its flavor by heating up.
Mm-hmm. It's a good healthy oil too.
Salt and pepper.
But not too much salt.
No.
Keep us on track, Doctor.
Yeah, that's right.
Good. I like that.
And I make sure to keep the skin, even though we're going to remove the skin after. But it's good to cook. To cook it with the skin.
So the skin's going to come off eventually.
Eventually,
we don't want
or
the
you
skin.
can leave it on.
You can leave it on, Doctor. What do you think about leaving on the skin?
Well, you know, for lower fat alternatives, remove the skin.
Right.
And then for low salt alternatives, use lemon instead. There you go.
So you wouldn't use salt at all?
Well, for some of our patients, we can't. People with congestive heart failure, people who really have to watch their blood pressure. Yeah.
So you substitute what then?
Lemon, other flavors, garlic. Yep.
You're okay with that?
Acid, lemon juice.
Exactly. Works
any
well.
citrus juice or even some flavorful vinegar.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so for this recipe, we are using onions. We're going to use the food processor. Coarsely chopped onions. We have one green apple, which is Granny Smith apple. And then 2 garlic cloves.
Now what are we making here?
I'm making the beginning of the sauce.
The sauce.
So make sure that your garlic doesn't have that little green spout inside, because that would make the dish very bitter.
Oh, okay.
And just crush it a little bit and put it in here. Now this can be done in a grinder, but I think food processor is easier. What I like to do is pulse it.
Why do you pulse it as opposed to just turning it on?
Because if I keep on, I'm going to have a juice. It's going to liquefy in the top and stay in big piece on the liquefy on the bottom and stay in big piece on the top. So you pulse it. I pulse it by opening and closing, and you just run this until you have a coarse paste. Once you have peeled the apple, make sure you put a little bit of lemon juice in it so it doesn't discolor.
So that's what prevents
the apple
it
would
from,
start to get brown, right?
The apple could oxidize and turn brown, yes. Now we're going to see whether you can just a little bit on the side.
A little more salt. How are you feeling about that, doctor?
Just small. More pepper, that's good.
There's a little, you know.
Yep.
He's a chef. He has to cook with the salt.
I have to.
Less salt. Okay.
So wait now to see if we
Oh,
have a nice color.
Yeah,
And that
pretty
is
golden
good.
brown. Yeah.
That is good to get the color because it's going to give us a lot of flavor.
You want a nice sear on there. Then.
Yes, because that gives flavor. That brings the little touch of bitterness, which is very important because we have the sweet. Here we'll have lemon juice, which is the acid, and you want to create that little bitterness on it. And so now those have got a nice color on both sides. They're not cooked, obviously, but they are going to come back in the pan to continue cooking.
We're going to put this in the oven?
Yes.
Okay.
Eventually, it's going to go in the oven. And so
You know what I've noticed too is that you've got everything prepped.
mise en place is everything is in place.
Yes,
And you
I
have
like
to know.
that.
You have to
I
know
like
where
that
everything is. Now, usually, I was told that it's better. The recipe also goes very well with the banana.
really?
Added to it. They were told that it's better not to put too much sweetness. The apples are not very sweet. That's why we choose the Granny Smith because they are
kind of sweet
tart.
tart.
Not very. Yeah, they're very tart.
So, yeah.
Now, what makes this low glycemic?
Protein. Protein is the main thing, and it's got staying power. And in a minute, you're going to have a little bit of
and the quinoa,
fat, right?
And the quinoa,
right? So you got that staying power. The things that are high glycemic are those simple carbohydrates, you know, the processed foods. And so things that are complex carbohydrates, like the quinoa, the protein, those are the things that are staying power.
All right, so we put the apples mix in here.
The onion take longer to cook, so you need to give the onions a little time to sweat. This is now sort of sweating, as you see. It just you sweat, you remove the moisture out of the food. So now we're going to add the tomatoes. The tomatoes, which are roughly
Oh, nice color.
chopped.
These colors are beautiful.
Okay, so now we've added the chicken stock. If you don't have chicken stock, use water. But if it's chicken stock, it should be the one without salt. And then this is the curry. Curry, use a good brand name of curry. Also a little bit of wine.
What kind of wine is that?
Any dry white wine.
I see.
We use Chardonnay, here, but it's
Okay.
anything dry. Now, see, this is, the sauce starts to thicken a little bit.
Yes.
Now we're going to put the meat back in here. And I'm
So
putting
they can take in the flavor from the sauce.
And it's going to, the chicken is going to lose its moisture into the sauce, and the chicken gets the flavor of the curry and the sauce. So, for me, I like to cover it and put it in the oven.
But it won't take that long for the chicken to cook. I mean, because it's cooking
10-15 minutes. It's already seared, and it cooks for, 20 minutes is a good time.
That's a very fancy dish for such a short period of time. Quinoa has gotten really popular. I know that lots of people are serving it at Passover, at Seder's, you know, all kinds of occasions. Just something different. I think something a little bit more substantive that is
if you
quite
do not
versatile.
you can saute this in a little bit of butter.
Okay.
We can put a little butter on this, but
Okay.
if not, just do it without butter by putting a little bit of chicken stock.
Chicken stock,
So
okay.
it's not going to. I'm going to put both just to show you have the choice.
Okay. So it really depends on sort of what your dietary tastes are and your restrictions.
Exactly.
Right?
We all say French cuisine is very rich. Yes, it is very rich if you put all the butter and the cream in it, but there are a lot of recipes in French cuisine which are totally fat-free.
Yes.
So this is the quinoa.
This is the quinoa.
With the quinoa. It's very important to wash it. I did this before because you have to be in the sink. You put it into a bowl, you cover with the water, and wash it. Just remove. There's a little
Hull?
No. It's something that is outside which makes it extremely bitter if you don't take it out. So rinse it very well.
Where do you get this? Where do you get quinoa?
Oh, you find it anywhere now.
Yeah, anywhere.
I mean, just about. Now we're going to mix it with the onions. And then, if you do not have a chicken stock, again, you can do it with water. But You know what water tastes like? You know what chicken stock tastes like?
I'll go for the chicken stock. Let's do the chicken stock.
And what about for people that are vegetarians? Are there other...
Use a vegetable stock.
Vegetable stock.
Or
okay.
water. Water is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so bring this to a simmer and cover, and either in the oven with the chicken or on the stove. Like there's no problem, there's no starch, so nothing is going to stick to it. And now I'm going to put this on a lower heat, so it's going to simmer very slowly. It's like rice, basically, but it cooks faster than rice. It'll be done in about 12 to 15 minutes. So now the chicken should be cooked, and even if the chicken is not fully cooked now, we'll have plenty of time to continue to make it cook. So take the chicken out.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's cooked.
Well,
not quite.
You're giving it a little touch. What are you touching for?
I'm taking for texture.
Texture.
See, you make your fist.
Oh, okay.
That's chicken cooked.
Oh.
Right there?
If you like this, that chicken raw.
Too soft there.
Okay. That's a good trick.
All right. So if it's like the chicken's like this, when you take it out of the oven, it's not done.
No.
If it's like this, get that kind of bounce, then it's ready to go.
That's a good
Now,
little trick.
at this point, we're going to finish the sauce.
Look how beautiful it
It's
got
so
the
pretty.
color of the curry on there.
Yes, yes. And what you do at this point, if you think that it's not completely cooked, just stamp it back in the oven for just a second. While we finish the sauce, it'll continue to cook.
That's nice.
Now we have the almond flour that we add to this.
Now that's going to thicken things up.
Not really, because there's no starch in it, but it's going to give a consistency. Okay, we're done.
Let's plate it up.
That's lovely.
And you see, this is the quinoa now.
Yes.
Consistency. I did not put any salt, and I would like to, but I'm going to do it. I don't need to. In other words.
I like that. Wow.
Okay. Now we have. See, this is the little bit of lemon juice which I didn't put in, so I just put a little bit of it in.
I see.
And we finish this with the little tomato. Cut fresh tomatoes.
So the different colors contrasting. Very pretty. Wow.
Toasted almonds.
For the crunch factor.
That's correct.
Very
important.
nice, of course.
And if you have something red, make sure you put something green. And that's
beautiful.
This you could use mint, you could use tarragon, you could use chive. This is parsley, just to not go against other flavors.
Okay.
Dr. El-Bayoumi, yours is the first bite. Yep.
Wow. Look at that. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, you're right. This is a feast for the eyes. The smell is wonderful. The texture looks gorgeous.
Great flavor. It's almost light, you know. It tastes
delicious.
right. It tastes healthy in a sense, right?
You can taste the apple, the acidity.
You do
of the
taste
apple.
the apple, and you know what? It's giving me energy to eat some more. That's what it's giving me energy to do. Enjoy. Great job, Chef Francois. Fantastic work.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I'm feeling better already.